And we might have to add one or two. Hey, everybody, here on Facebook it's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday.
Yeah. It's been a weird weekend too. Like Sunday felt like Saturday, and then
Totally.
yeah.
And then of course yesterday we grilled. Only time it rained was when I lit the pit, started pouring.
Of course.
Yes. And today it hasn't rained yet, but it got windy, and so we had our Paige did her Zoom call with the Mizzou Athletics, like they do their Zoom calls a couple times a week, and she's out there working on her MacBook, doing her Zoom call, whatever, on the deck, and it's sunny. It's like 11 o'clock. She's got the umbrella out on the picnic table and stuff. Boom! I go out there to get it. As Mallory and I were going to go riding in the Jeep, I look out on the deck, just glass everywhere. So I guess the wind picked up the umbrella, which picked up the table and slammed it back down. Just it looked like
no, that stinks.
I know, for real.
Oh,
have you ever been to Bush Wildlife Area out by us? Right
no.
40 and
that was one place I never went.
Okay, so I'd never been there till today because I have the doors off the Jeep and the window, everything's off, top doors, everything. So Mallory wanted to go for a ride. Well, we were just riding out towards her high school, and hey guys, and so we went through there. Dude, that place is amazing. It's all like roads, and there's like 50 lakes back in there because they're all numbered.
Awesome
trails. It was pretty sweet. So
that's pretty
Jeep,
cool.
And I just wiped down my Jeep with Armor All and stuff, and then. Yeah. Dude, it's trash right now. There's junk all. It looks so cool, but
oh my gosh,
look.
That's exactly.
But I cleaned it and then we went out there. I'm so stupid. She's like, "Your Jeep's trash," because I went around a corner, and it was still kind of wet from all the rain we had, and it came up when you have your doors on, man. Like if you turn a corner too fast, I got it all over me.
Oh my gosh,
it's like riding a bike.
That's the typical total Jeep experience that you just had. Yeah,
totally.
That's awesome.
We have folks jumping in. Hello in Australia and South.
Hi guys. Oh yeah, I need to share this one place. Hold on just a moment.
Good morning to Christine.
Do that.
So we need you to call in to play a game. We're doing it backwards tonight.
As per usual. We do lots of things.
Pam's in jail. No, just kidding. We are going to play a game for Friday's show. So we're going to record that one first, and then we'll do listener questions after that. So if you want to hang out for the questions, we'd appreciate that too.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Jennifer's running, and it's hot outside.
Oh.
Hang in there.
Yes.
It was hot this morning when I was running at 5:45. Oh. The sun was just coming up. Hey, Natalie's first time watching. I know, we look weird, don't we? I have my glasses on because I was driving in the Jeep.
Oh, yeah. You don't have your glasses on.
I have my contacts in. Huh. So if I'm touching the screen, that's what's going to happen.
Oh, my gosh.
Jennifer's been out to the Bush Wildlife Area because that's up by where she lives, too.
Yeah.
It's a pretty neat little area. There's little hiking trails and pine forests and all kinds of stuff. It's nuts. Reception is rough, not seeing the live feed consistently. Oh, try going out and back in, Miss K, and we'll see. Hopefully we're okay. All right, so here's going to be we'll start, but I am going to need your calls once we get going here. Because again, we're on a Tuesday night where this should be a call-in show, so we're kind of making do here. Let me do this. And my allergies are bugging me. Oh my gosh. So if I don't start sneezing, it'll be a miracle. I love games too, William. I love pizza. I need to hang out with William. William knows a piece or two about pizza. He owns a pizza place.
Got it.
I know a guy that owns a cupcake bakery.
Yes.
Pizza place. Yes. Tell me that isn't living. I need to go either to Oregon or to Canada to see Jonathan and William.
I've already seen Jonathan and gotten cupcakes. So.
Oh my gosh, you're so lucky. I so want to see his cupcakes. That sounds bad, but
yes, that does.
I really want to eat his cupcakes.
Also not great, but I mean, it's better than anything else.
We don't take that out of context. We're not recording. We're good. Hey, Aaron in the house. All right, let's do this.
I love it. Let's go.
Okay, so this is Friday, people. So what day?
It is Friday.
So will Friday be June yet? What's today? Tuesday the 26th?
Friday's not June. No, we're not in June yet.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I got a sneeze coming. I hate this. Allergies. I'm the worst person. Yeah, driving with a Jeep, no top, no doors, and I have allergies. Beautiful. I'm an idiot, but it's fun. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, Sioux Passage. I used to live right by Sioux Passage Park.
Mm-hmm.
You. Okay, here we go. Oh, James is here from Oxford, England. We got people from all over the place.
That's awesome.
And real quick, William says, made about 80 pounds of dough today, grated 150 pounds of mozzarella. Oh, now, dude. I wouldn't want to have to make all that, though.
I need pizza.
He's probably got huge, like, forearms, like kneading the dough.
Yes. I need pizza. Just saying.
Update Monday is June.
Monday is June, yes.
Oh, and yes, good job on the masks. I didn't order mine yet because it said it was out.
Yeah.
How long it's going to be, I'm scared I'm going to order one and not get it till the pandemic's over.
No, so yeah, the masks are on the TeePublic site. They just like introduced them not that long ago. And so I think you can, if they say that they've run out, like check daily, because I think I heard that they like redo the number of masks that they have available daily. So, and it makes sense too, like, you know, everybody's trying to order masks right now. So that's kind of the big hot item. So just like give it time. And I mean, if you want to mention it on the podcast, we can, but there's some really great like lizard themed masks, which is awesome. Yeah. And then we have regular ones too. I love that I've been getting asked about the hashtag freaking magical. Like people want to wear that mask. I'm like, okay.
Sweet. Seriously. That's
I have that one too.
It's called the conversation starter right there. Okay.
Exactly.
Here we go. So I'll tell you about the game. I'll tell you about the mask, all that stuff. So let's all focus, people. We're gonna record a real live podcast. Okay. This is serious business, man. This is it. This is how I make my living right now while the parks are closed.
We don't make any money on this.
I know. I don't make any.
We make nothing.
The only way I make money on the podcast when people book trips with the Magic for Less, and that's we have people booking trips, but it's a shame that Disney only pays us after the travel.
That's true.
That totally works well under most circumstances, just not under pandemics. Okay, let's do this. What number? Okay, these are out of order. I got to remember that. Okay, it's hard for my little brain. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1681 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. We hope that you're having a great time here as we wrap up. Can't believe it. Wrapping up the month of May, getting ready to turn the corner into June next week. Summer is here. I hope you had a great Memorial Day weekend here in the States, or just as we tell our international friends, a great weekend last weekend. We are here to, we're going to play a game today. It's actually one of our listener questions, but it came in the form of a game. So it's like a hybrid. So we're going to actually be taking calls during today's recording. And so you might hear yourself a few days down the line here on the feed. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's Friday. Let's have some fun. We have some good news, I think, heading our way. We're moving in the right direction. So joining me today to have some fun and play games. That's what we do. We have Rikki from touringplans.com and the Mouse for Less. What's up, Rikki?
It's hard to believe that we are already at pretty much the end of May at this point. Like, I really can't believe it. I can't fathom it. Like, this month really, in a weird way, it's gone by slow. In a weird way, it's gone by fast. But it's totally been like the most bizarre month ever. I mean, because I've been back at work this month, so like I'm kind of back in the swing of normalcy. So it's been weird. Like my weekdays are normal, but my weekends are very abnormal because I'm not doing things like going places or like visiting Walt Disney World, or like that part's abnormal, but the weekdays are normal. So it's kind of a weird dichotomy in a way. But yeah,
I've been working at home for 3 years now, so it's not different work-wise for me. And actually the workload has been equal, if not greater, since the pandemic started in March than it was prior to that, which is kind of hard to fathom because people are probably like, Mike, nobody can travel to Walt Disney World. You're probably sitting there. No, because there's a lot of rescheduling, canceling, shuffling, stuff like that, which I sure appreciate. But it is weird because, I was just it takes me a while to establish routines and stuff. And being a teacher for 17 years with my wife, you know, we both taught at the same district. We taught next door to each other for 9 years. So our schedules were very in sync. So I was just starting to kind of fall into, I get the house to myself all day, you know, Mallory's at school,
That's true.
Pages at Mizzou. And it's like, you know, I love the quarantine life. And if you can see, we're in day 70 as we're recording right now. But it's one of those things like, you know, I think we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm crossing my fingers. I know some places are better than others. I get that. But either way, we're 70 days into this. You know, that's 70 days that are behind us because we know we are going to get to the beginning of this eventually. So we are making progress.
It's true. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we are definitely making progress. And that's the best part about the whole thing is we're making our way through. So, yep. We got this. We got this, everybody.
I hope so. So I have a question for you because I saw this on the social media this weekend. I think it was, it might have been Monday that it might have been Monday. They put out maybe Sunday night, you know, the Disney Parks blog and the Twitter accounts for Walt Disney World and so forth. They're giving a little Disney magic moments, hashtag Disney magic moments. They're trying to spread the cheer as best they can with the parks closed. Mm-hmm. They put out the recipe for the kitchen sink.
Yes.
The patriotic twist. Did you have a kitchen sink down in Georgia?
I did not. I don't love all of the ingredients in a kitchen sink. So that's partially why I've never partaken in it. However, they do have a couple of other versions at Walt Disney World. They have an all chocolate version, which I am A-okay with. I haven't had it yet, but that one sounds delicious to me. The regular version, I'm not a huge mint chocolate chip fan. And so like, that's the real big downfall to me. Like, you know, if you really wanted a traditional kitchen sink, you have to have that. But mint is just one of those flavors that overpowers everything for me. So when you add that to something like this, it's definitely not something that I want to enjoy. But I know everybody was freaking out about like the list of ingredients and saying like, oh my gosh, there are so many ingredients to a kitchen sink. And I'm sitting here going, well, yeah, it's all of the things that are in the entire restaurant that are ice cream related. So, of course, it's a lot of things in the kitchen sink. Like, there's, of course, a ton of ingredients. So, I wasn't surprised when I saw like a 3-page list of ingredients for the kitchen sink. So.
Here's the thing, though, I didn't look at the recipe because, in my opinion, this is a Rahlmanism, which is probably stupid. The kitchen sink should just be anything you have in your freezer at that point. Like if I want to have the kitchen sink, I'm not going to go to Disney's recipe. I'm going to go up to Rahlman's refrigerator, you know, 1 flight of stairs above me and be like, oh, we got some little Edie's here, little cookies and cream. We got some Hershey's chocolate syrup. Well, we got Reese's Pieces left over for Easter, you know, and it's like that's a homemade. That's like when you make a home burger with like bread instead of buns on your hamburger.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true.
I mean, you can substitute anything you like anyway. So
that's a valid point. I will agree with that. But I was definitely surprised by the like number of people who were shocked at the number of ingredients. And I was like, but it's everything in the restaurant. I don't know why you're shocked. I guess maybe they haven't been to Peaches and Cream to see the presentation of the kitchen sink. Cause I think they shout out the ingredients while you're there. Like, you know, they tell you everything that's in it when they're walking it over to the table. So maybe that's why I knew what was in the kitchen sink, because I've been at Peaches and Cream many times, although not in its new iteration.
It's so loud in that place.
I know you don't like it.
Oh, I know. It's not that I don't like it. It's just like I was like, I can't stand it. It's so loud. Yeah, it was a running weekend, and runners are crazy. So.
That's true. And yes, it is a whole can of whipped cream.
But you know what? If you make one at home, you do need to get like the police to come over and woo woo woo.
Yes, it's not the same.
That's what they do.
It's not the same. No.
Actually, we had a parade that was let out by the police here the other day for a lady's 78th birthday on the street behind me. It was so awesome. Like 30 cars. Cool. The cop let it out. I was just walking around the lake and I heard sirens. I'm like, oh, and I put it on Instagram. I was like, oh, I didn't do anything. Freeze. It wasn't for me. So I was glad about that. All right. So here's what Alexa sent us. Again, this was in our listener question emails. You can always send in listener questions or suggestions to Mike@BRGuestPodcast.com. Here's what she said. Dear Mike, when is Space 220 opening?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Just kidding. I thought of these cute ones, I guess it should be. It says cut ones that I thought were pretty difficult and could be a fun topic on a Wednesday question show, or maybe some of them are evil or both. Sincerely, Alexa. So what we're going to do is, would you rather? So we're going to throw these out. If you want to be a part of this conversation, of this fun, I hooked up the MacBook. So the phone lines are open. 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. Again, this is for the podcast on Friday, but we'll have some fun with you. You can join us. Rikki and I will give ours and you can give yours, and we'll go to the next caller. And she has some tough ones on here. I would say more evil as I looked at these. Evil. And especially around dinner time as we record these, actually Tuesday evening this week. Oh, it's going to be tough. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start as we wait for a call to come in. Actually, here comes Alfred. So let's get Alfred in. And Alfred, you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, Alfred.
Rikki's here.
Hi, Rikki. How are you?
I'm good.
That's great.
All right, you ready to play, Alfred? Because we're going to kind of go through these a little quickly to have some fun. Okay, here we go. So the first one she put on the list, you got to pick. Would you rather? Okay. So it's outdoor. I think I know Alfred's pick.
Okay.
I wish I could write it down, but I'm anything to write down. Okay, that's what we should play. Guess the listeners' answers. We can play that too. Okay, so she has a category of outdoor coaster.
Okay.
Would you rather ride right now Everest, Slinky Dog, or Big Thunder? I'm going to go ladies first for Rikki. Everest, Slinky Dog, or Big Thunder?
Okay. All right. So at Walt Disney World, I am choosing Everest. If I went and got to choose any version, I would choose Disneyland Paris's version of Big Thunder. But that's just because I'm finally working on the videos, by the way.
Paris, whatever.
I just wanted to share that it took me a year, but I finally am working on videos for when I went to Paris, Disneyland Paris. So if you want to see those, we've got those on the Mouse for Lessons YouTube channel, so you can go check those out. Yay, I plugged it. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, if I was choosing though for Walt Disney World's version, I'm absolutely choosing Everest because it's just one of my favorite coasters overall. I love the backwards portion. I wish that it worked with the Yeti, because I did get to see the Yeti in its original version where it actually swiped at you, which is so cool. So, if we're wishing for things, I would wish I could ride the original version of Expedition Everest with the Yeti who actually worked, because it's such a cool experience. But yeah, so at Walt Disney World, I choose Expedition Everest. So with my second vote of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Disneyland Paris.
Stop. Knock it off. Okay, so I'm going to go to Alfred. Alfred, which of the three are you picking, sir?
Oh my gosh, this is so hard. I am going to have to say, I'm going to go Slinky Dog.
Oh, I like it.
That is the correct answer, by the way. I'm going to Slinky Dog as well. Okay, so go ahead, Alfred. Why? It was a tough call, but why Slinky Dog?
Yeah. Well, I picked that because when I wrote it for the first time last year, I sat in the very last row.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually asked the cast member, I said, where is the best spot to ride this? And they said, last row. I said, fine, put me there.
That's awesome.
And oh my God, the rush. You just get whipped back and forth like crazy. It is so amazingly fun.
That's true. Yeah. The back is always fun on coasters. And I can imagine, because I don't think I've sat in the back for Slinky Dog, but I can imagine the back is just insane for Slinky Dog.
Yeah. Those humps on like the very end of the ride. Towards the end.
It's very thrilling.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, why do you say?
And I'd go Everest also.
So Everest, I'm getting old. It makes me want to honk. Like on that back part, I'm about ready to yak every time I ride it. Speaking of Yak and Yeti, it's gonna be yak at Mike's shoes if I ride that much more. So that I do like Big Thunder. Big Thunder is just a classic coaster with lots of theming. And I know Everest is winning the day in the chat room. I mean, because it is the most thrilling, obviously, of the three. It's very well themed. Everest is a great coaster. I'm just saying, for me, my advanced age, it's just Slinky Dog's it's the new thing, and it's I like the colors and I love Toy Story, and I just like saying, hang on. Like that's my thing. So
Love it.
and I got to ride next to Pam Forrester for the media preview back in the day. That's like our ride.
That's true.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah, it was fun. All right. Hey, Alfred, we'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thanks for calling in. Sure appreciate it.
All right.
Bye, Alfred.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. 407-413-9395. You're going to, I'm telling you, Everest is winning the day. Evan, Tammy, Julie, Miss K, Michael said Big Thunder, Samantha, all Everest fans.
That's good.
Holy, I didn't think Everest would win that much.
I mean, it's pretty darn awesome. Not going to lie. So
Mark wins. He went with Slinky.
Well, there you go.
Joanne says Joanne's a back row person too. You know what they say about their kids that sit in the back? They're always trouble.
That's right. They are. Slinky was definitely gaining on it though at the end. I saw, so that's good. Yeah,
I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. The next would you rather? It is a quick service meal. All right, so get ready if you want to call it 407-413-9395. That's WDW5 on the back end. That's a vanity number, by the way. I paid extra. No, I don't think I did, but I did work hard to get it. So here it is. Satuli Canteen, Pecos Bills, or Regal Beagle.
Oh no!
I know. So Alexa obviously listens to the show, and she read this one at me because she is named probably outside of Columbia Harbor House, probably my 3 favorite counter service places on property. So let me reset Skype in case we're having any issues here because Skype is a angry beast sometimes. 407-413-9395. If you want to give us your opinion of Satuli Canteen, Pecos Bills, or Regal Eagle, give us a call right now. Become internet famous. Rikki, you got to pick one right now. Where are you headed?
So since I haven't had the Regal Beagle yet, it was gonna be one of the things that I went to on my trip. I canceled right before like all this happened. Like I remember I was supposed to go down like the weekend before everything closed. So I was gonna go to Regal Beagle at that point, and then I decided to be an adult and not go to Walt Disney World. So which made me sad at this point.
I even told you not to go. I'm like, dude, it'll be there. Like,
I know. Little did we know.
I thought it would be closed for like 2 days too. So I don't know.
I know that's true. Little did we know it would be closed for months. So since I did not get to try the Regal Beagle, I still love so very much Satuli Canteen. I mean, I love the cheeseburger pods that yes, you can still get even though you're an adult. I love the bowls. Like it's just all so good. So I'm going Satuli. Yeah.
All right, we have our next caller, and I believe it's Marlessa, right?
Oh, yes, it is.
Hey, how are you, Marlessa?
You memorized numbers.
I have memorized at this point. I've memorized everybody's phone number. I'm like when Tom Cruise threw Rain Man in the bedroom, and he had to memorize the phone book while they were busy in the other room. That's how things are turning out for me nowadays. Oh, Ricky's coughing, so you got to go. Okay, so
that's fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, so I've called
911.
No. So you get Satuli Canteen, Pecos Bills, or Regal Eagle.
Okay, so Rikki and I tend to see eye to eye. I think a lot of things. So my answer is ultimately going to be Satuli Canteen.
Yes.
Because when I was there at the end of February, I really wanted to try Regal Eagle. There's like I think plant-based sandwich that looked really good and sounded really good. We actually, my boyfriend and I, we did go in there and like looked around at it, and we actually did like taste the sauces, which are pretty good. Mm-hmm. We're like, might as well taste the sauces, even if we're not going to have our full meal here, right? But didn't get to have the full sandwich. So to be fair, I'm not going to pick that if I hadn't had it yet. But Satuli Canteen, kind of just reiterate what Rikki said, that it's a great option. Again, like as a pescatarian, like it's nice to, whenever there's a place that has multiple options, and especially creative options where you're building your own bowl. Like I don't, eat the cheeseburger pods, but I know people love those. And it's just like a fun location to be in Brighton, Pandora, by like one of the most popular rides in the park.
Man, this one's going to be a clean sweep because I'm going Satuli Canteen.
Look at you.
Here's the thing, though.
Yes.
So here's the thing, though. Regal Beagle is super good, and I got pretty much almost full to Lentesta because I waited like an hour for the place to open. I waited out in the chairs. I waited for them to and it started smelling so good. I'm like, you better give me some food here soon. I was so hungry that day. It opened and I over ordered. I ordered the combo platter. I got some onion rings. I probably have 5,000 calories. I don't even want to know.
In one meal, yeah.
Oh my gosh. But the thing is, it's like Flame Tree, the smell and it also, it replaced, it's such an improvement over Liberty Tree, Liberty Inn, or whatever that was. It was so horrible that it gave us something to look forward to that was exciting.
Yes, it's true.
You rooted for it to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like you wanted this place to be good. And I think that had a lot to do with it. It did taste good. But the thing is, I can get a lot of good barbecue here in St. Louis. Okay. So as good as it is, and it is good, I can get equivalent barbecue really close to my house here and have almost the same experience. That's true. I mean, it's not real themed. Satuli Canteen is heavily themed, and I love that protein bowl, and I love the cheeseburger pods. And the trick is you got to get somebody to eat with you because you have somebody order the pods.
That's true.
And you have somebody order the bowl, and you go halvesies on them.
This is correct.
That's the way to go. So, yeah, Satuli Canteen rules the day. But Pecos Bills also fajitas. That's just kind of my default at the Magic Kingdom if I don't want Columbia Harbor House. Mm-hmm. It's one of the two.
Right. Yep. Right. I do love Columbia Harbor House though. But and also with Satuli Canteen quickly, I think it's one of those locations at Disney World that kind of tricks in a good way, like people to try more adventurous foods because if you look at the photos, it seems like very adventurous. But then when you really like sit down to read the menu, you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is like rice bowls or noodle bowls. Like, so I feel like I'm a pretty adventurous eater, but I think like someone that might be more hesitant normally, like it's a good place for them to, realize that, just because maybe something looks adventurous, it's probably, not too crazy from what you're used to.
Agreed.
Yeah. Cause sometimes like menu descriptions can scare you away because really like that bowl, it's just like something you would get at Panda Express, but it's a little bit fancier. I mean, honestly, that's what it is. But it's the environment.
And I think, Marla, so you have a point in that, I think that that's part of the problem with like Docking Bay 7. Everything, it just sounds so out there, in Galaxy's Edge. So I think that that's part of their, like, that's why I don't feel like that one has really caught on as far as like popularity among the Disney fans for quick service options, just because it's a little out there as far as the descriptions go. And I know that that's something that they were tweaking a lot before, all this pandemic stuff happened. But I feel like, and I also feel like it's not the best value for your money at, unfortunately, which I do feel like is the case at Satuli Canteen. I think the value for your money there is way better than it is at Docking Bay 7, which I think tries to be similar, but just doesn't hit the mark. So, I think that that's part of the problem there. But Satuli is absolutely a home run. So
free Coke Zero refills at Satuli Canteen too.
Well, maybe not anymore.
Oh man, you quit raining on my parade.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry.
Oh no.
Okay, let me ask you one last thing, Marless, before I let you go. So on that topic, what Rikki just brought up, would you rather have very themed names and descriptions for food items on a menu, or would you rather Disney be more straightforward in what it is? Like if it's chicken nuggets and fries, just call them chicken nuggets and fries. Don't call them Ewok pieces, and I don't know what the side to be with an Ewok. Would you rather? I mean, or is it a balance the Imagineers are trying to find? Because the people kind of, Midwesterners tend to not want to try Ewok pieces.
Oh man, yeah. So thank you for the bonus question. But yeah, so I think for me, if I answer objectively, I think there needs to be a balance. For me personally, I love the same names, and which I think might be a little interesting, I guess, for me to say that, just because, as someone with like more of a specialty diet as a pescatarian, like sometimes there are menus at Disney or here in New York City or anywhere else where if I'm not sure what it is, I have to like Google and like make sure that I can eat it, that it's not actually a code name for like beef or something like that.
I think Ewok. I think Ewok's pork. I'm not sure.
I would say more like chicken.
If I put like Ewok on a stick, I'd probably steer clear. Oh no, I'm so sad because the Ewoks are so cute.
They
Yeah,
are.
I know. At least it's not pork on a stick.
Yeah,
So,
so are porgs. The porgs are cute too, and apparently they taste really good.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Mike, you're breaking my heart right now.
Sorry.
Like worried that you're like, okay. But yeah, but I think the theme names are really fun. I think as long as, you know, like there's a balance, I think if the photos do a really good job of like complimenting what it actually is, you know, for table service, it, you know, I guess it kind of falls more to the servers to make sure that they're explaining it in a way. Cause I mean, but even like some of the descriptions that I think are pretty clear, like again, like I don't eat chicken, but at Skipper Canteen, there's a meal like this called Taste Like Chicken.
That's my jam.
And
Exactly it, because it's chicken.
And my boyfriend loves that, and I think, and it's really like basic when you think about it. But I've heard people kind of be scared off by that. I'm like, why? It's like they're telling you it tastes like chicken because it is. Like
yes,
that's in the title.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, but the theme names can be fun.
Well, I agree. Miss K says the same thing. It's just creative naming as long as the actual food is given in the description, which I agree. I don't want things to be so straightforward that it's boring, but you know, I get it, because the thing is, it's probably a pain in the butt for the restaurant sometimes having to describe, yeah, it's really not Ewok. It's really just chicken nuggets that we're calling Ewok nuggets. You know, like, I mean, they, you know, kind of thing. So
then you're like traumatizing children. Like,
yeah, totally. Well, I mean, it's probably not Ewok nuggets. It's probably some mean looking, I don't know, some yard bird on Batu, or I don't know what it is. Who knows? Oh, Dennis is here. He can bail us out. ZOU. All right. Well, we're going to let you go. So we'll get to the next set of questions. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So Dennis could let us know what kind of meat Ewok is. He's now he's a Star Wars expert. Okay. Next one. Would you rather transportation? We got to get moving on this.
Uh-oh.
Skyliner, monorail, minivan, or boat?
Oof. This is tough. This one's really tough, actually.
It's not tough for me. Okay, 407-413-9395. You have an answer for this one. Jump on in. 407-413-9395. Rikki, you got to pick the Skyliner, monorail, minivan, or boat.
I mean, I do love me the Skyliner because I think it's awesome, but I have to go with the original, the epitome of Walt Disney World, and that is the monorail. I know. Sometimes it smells funny, and you don't want to know.
But
the
monorail, it's just the person you're sitting next to.
Yes, exactly. It's Brian. But I mean, it is the quintessential Disney experience, the monorail. So, I mean, that's why it's such an easy play for me, even though the Skyliner is such a cool experience overall. Like the whole thing is awesome. I still got to go with the monorail. So yeah.
Okay, so here's my situation. Again, call in if you want to, 474-139-9395. I'm going in this post-COVID world. I'm going minivan because it's your own private transportation, other than the driver, which the driver I'm sure is going to be, pretty cool. I'm sure I trust that. You know, obviously these other ones are forms of mass transportation. It would be the Skyliner. I love the Skyliner, and I'm just kind of kidding around because I would probably pick the Skyliner. It's more fun. It's a big ride. It's a ride that gets you to the rides. That's what I always say.
That's true.
You need to make sure it says that.
That's true. I can.
Yeah, that'd be a good shirt. But I would totally go Skyliner under normal circumstances. But I mean, if I'm a little iffy, like I'm there on day one after the parks reopen, I might take a minivan. But then again, I'm tight. That's expensive.
Yeah.
I'll probably take my chances with my health to save a few bucks. I'm switching to Skyliner. So in the chat, James is going monorail, Jessica Skyliner, Ashley's team boat. This is all over the place. Marlessa's on the Skyliner, Jennifer's a minivan. Like we cannot get a consensus here.
No, that's true.
Jen says, Kit says minivan without a hesitation. Tammy's going Skyliner. Tim says yes, he'll write any of them. Exactly. At this point, we'll take anything.
That's true. I will take anything at this point.
Andrew is correct. Everything is better on a boat.
And that's true.
Julie's right. Skyliner's a game changer. It totally is, man. I'm telling you, once you stay at a Skyliner resort, you're spoiled. It's bad. Tammy takes Skyliner, and Marlessa says Skyliner is basically the only transportation they don't have in New York City.
That's true. Yes. Yeah.
All right, so let's go with the next one. We have Classic Fantasyland. Classic Fantasyland, and we have the dog chiming in here, which is wonderful under quarantine. So we have three choices for this one that Alexa is given us. Oh no, I hope I just didn't launch my thing. I didn't. It is Dumbo, Peter Pan or Small World? You got to pick one. Would you rather ride Dumbo, Peter Pan, or Small World? Rikki.
I mean, I have to go with it's a small world. It's classic. It's just I know that a lot of people love, Peter Pan, but it's a small world is, it's just such that quintessential Disney attraction overall. So I'm going it's a small world. That's not hard for me actually. That one's really easy.
Dude, this one is kind of rough for me because I'm throwing out Dumbo. I do love Dumbo, but I'm throwing that one out because it's not a dark ride. And I think Fantasyland's classic Fantasyland, when I think of that, even though Dumbo is definitely a Fantasyland ride, I think of dark rides. So I'm going either Peter Pan or Small World, and I am going on I'm flying, baby. I'm going on the ship, Peter Pan, and I want to see the pit crew that comes out in a costume and they clean the boats in between rides.
See, I think I'm losing this because in the chat, like most people are saying Peter Pan. So I get it. Like, It's a Small World does have the annoying song and all, but there's just something really, really cool about It's a Small World. The fact of it's showcasing all the countries of the world, coming together as one. Like in this time, that's what we need more than anything is coming together as one, no matter who you are or where you're from. Like that's really what we need. So It's a Small World right now is so necessary.
You're part of the problem. You're saying everybody needs to come together. We're supposed to be 6 feet apart.
I'm sorry, socially distantly coming together. That's what I mean. Like,
I've not been listening since March. We do not want the world to come together. We're trying to avoid that. Small World is going to be the extinction of the human race. Like, we all get together.
I don't mean physically coming together. I mean, like, coming together as a world overall, like in general for fighting the pandemic, not by coming together.
Okay, so we have 3 more. Let's get through this.
Okay.
We're going a little long. Extra areas. All right. Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon, or Disney Springs. That's that last one kind of throws you in there. You got Disney Springs, Typhoon Lagoon, or Blizzard Beach. The 2 water parks in Disney Springs. I don't know which one I said.
Got it. It's fine. It's been a while since I've been to the water parks. So I think I'm gonna go Disney Springs. I like, there's all the dining, there's all the snacks, there's all the shopping that I can do. And there's the entertainment too. You've got, things like Splitsville. You'll hopefully have Cirque du Soleil reopening here soon. It was supposed to open with the quarantine. Before the quarantine.
Definitely better dining at Disney Springs than the water parks.
Yeah, way better dining. Way better dining. So yeah, I'm going with Disney Springs. I think that's where I'm gonna go. Disney Springs.
Jen just threw down the gauntlet too in the chat. Speaking of the last one, she says she likes the carpets better than Dumbo. You are banned.
Oh my goodness. What?
Yeah, just kidding. I mean, shorter wait, same ride.
Yeah, that's true.
Think about it. And you get to spit. Well, does Camel still spit on you? I don't think it does. Yeah, it does on the inside.
Okay. No, it spits on the outside too.
It probably doesn't anymore. I can't get my refills. I bet you the camel can't spit.
Watch out, they spit.
I forgot that last Friday. All these things I didn't think about. That spitting camel, dude, that is not cool anymore. Spitting camel. All right, we have a caller on the line. Who's joining us?
Hey, Mike and Rikki, it's Wade. How are you?
What's
up,
Wade? It's hot.
Hey, I figured I'd jump into this Would You Rather.
All right, let's go.
I headed out to a run, but because it's been raining all day, so I'm like, I got to call in real quick, and then I'll go for my run.
All right, so you can either do the transportation one or the classic Fantasyland one, whichever one you'd rather have.
I'll go transportation, I think, because I think Skyliner is such a game changer, and I also think in this COVID world we are in, I think that they will probably separate you by groups or families that you walk up with.
This is true.
And so I'm thinking the Skyliner, and it is so quick, especially if you're somewhere like Caribbean Beach or Pop Century. I mean, you can be in and out of Hollywood Studios or Epcot in under 15 or 20 minutes and back at your room.
That's true.
I agree. And you know what I would do with my family is I'd be like, one, I'm by myself. I need a little me time.
Right.
Party one.
Now let's go real quick though. What would you do for the Dumbo Small World Peter Pan combo?
I'd probably go Peter Pan. I actually have a picture of myself with my parents on Peter Pan in Disneyland in 1968.
That's awesome.
69.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was like 2 years old, so it's pretty cool. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Peter Pan, just because, like I said, I have that picture, and the fact that it has just stood the test of time and been around, since Disneyland's been around. So a classic ride.
Okay, last one though. We'll get you here before you take off on your run. Typhoon Lagoon, Blizzard Beach, or Disney Springs?
Oh boy, I'm getting a three for here.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm gonna go. I mean, I love Disney Springs. I think it's a game changer, because if you compare Disney Springs to downtown Disney, I honestly got kind of tired of going to downtown Disney. I felt like I was going to a shopping mall.
Me too.
And and then when it changed and they added in some of these restaurants, it's made it a lot different. You can go there and have dinner or lunch, spend a little time and get out, and it's got such a much more refined feel. So I love Disney Springs, but I'm going to go Blizzard Beach.
Oh,
because I think a lot of people don't do the water parks because they're so busy getting around to the theme parks. And then Disney Springs is, again, new shiny penny. They go there and it's great. I love it. But Blizzard Beach is so much fun. And if you ever do the summit plummet,
yes,
I'll tell you what, that thing is unbelievable. And the fact that, first of all, the scariest part of it is climbing up the tower, getting up there and waiting in line, watching everything, looking around. The ride the ride down the slide takes 2.3 seconds or something like that. But it is such a thrill, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I love Blizzard Beach. That's my favorite of the two water parks, and I've been to both.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I like Summit Plummet, but you just mentioned the whole problem. Like the line for Summit Plummet's like 90 minutes and it's hot and the ride lasts 3 seconds. I mean, talk about bang for your buck. You get zipped and you get a big wedgie that hurts you. It's painful. Like it's not only a 3-second ride, it's 3 seconds of pain, but it is fun. I get that.
I mean, Brian actually did Summit Plummet the day we got engaged, and he said, well, if I can do this, I can get engaged. So that was what he told himself before he went down Summit Plummet. So, I mean, there's that.
Builds that courage up.
Exactly.
Anyway, thanks for calling in, buddy, and have a good run. Good talking to you tonight.
All right, thanks. Take care.
Enjoy. Bye.
There's nothing enjoyable about a run.
I mean, no. There's not. I was trying to put shine on a penny, but
apparently Joanne got in trouble for swimming at.
I mean, can you imagine Joanne swimming at? Yeah,
I can actually.
I can.
Disney Springs won the day in the chat by a long shot, but Typhoon got some love. And you know what? I would take Typhoon Lagoon. I do love their lazy river, so I would go to. I'm taking Typhoon Lagoon. So what did you pick?
I did Disney Springs,
and I took Typhoon Lagoon. Okay,
got it. There we go.
And there's some water park love. I think people are missing their pools being
probably.
No,
I don't blame them.
It's been hot here in the Midwest. Okay, we got 2 more.
Okay.
So it says Mike's favorite resorts.
Uh-oh.
Pop, Coronado, or Wilderness Lodge.
Ooh.
Which would you rather? 407-413-9395. You want to call in? This will probably be the last call of the show.
I am going to see, for me, hands down, it's Wilderness Lodge. I love Pop, don't get me wrong, and it is my favorite value, but there's something about Wilderness Lodge that's just, it's homey and comforting. And, I visit even when I don't have a reason to. So Wilderness Lodge, hands down. Yeah.
See, again, you got a moderate and a value and a deluxe. So, I mean, Wilderness Lodge is where I would pick if everything was even. Like Disney's like, hey, Mike, we love you. Come on down. Where you want to stay? We're covering the bill. I'd say Wilderness Lodge. But Pop is the best. It's not a great value anymore because of the Skyliner that jacked up the prices. Coronado is probably your best value because you can stay at Coronado for almost the same price as Pop. Now, I would upgrade to the Tower. The Tower is sweet. You're just used to everything. So at Coronado, I would pay the extra money to stay in the Tower. But when I was there in February, I missed the Skyliner so much. God, you're killing me. I don't even know what to pick in this one. I'm going to go Pop Century because I'm not held to it.
All right, there we go.
I do like the Skyliner. Okay, last one.
Okay.
It says a souvenir.
Oh.
Ears, a pin, P-I-N, like a trade, or an autograph book. That's an
Oh.
easy one for me.
Hands down easy for me. I mean, have you seen my collection of ears? I'm going ears, baby. Yeah, my ears are I have a sickness. It's okay. I go to the outlets and then I buy the cheap ears when they're at the outlet store. So that's my pick is ears. I love ears. So
same for me. I'm not a big pin collector. Like I have a few that like I've gotten at like media things and just Mallory. Actually, it wasn't even Mallory. I think it was Paige. Used to, we used to play the game back in the day where you buy the cheap ones. I mean, they were official ones, but you buy like a bulk group and she'd trade them and stuff. But we just never really got into that. Obviously, I'm not collecting autographs anymore.
no.
That was fun when the kids were little, though. We like those. I still have their autograph books, but definitely ears. My favorite ears. I think the best thing RunDisney did, and this is just me, and you can yell at me if you want, but I got an announcement too at the end of the show. So, kind of relates to this. The best thing RunDisney ever did was give ears at the completion of the marathon.
That's true. I think that's
marathon
awesome.
weekend. And they should not give them out for any other distance other than the full marathon. It makes it special.
It does.
Like, you work your butt off for those ears. I mean, like the house could be burning down and I'm
and you grab the ears,
saving the dog and my 3 pair of marathon ears, because I like stuff that you have to earn. That's why I do like the medals. I mean, because they have stories behind them. You can't go buy a medal. Same for the ears. And the first year that they popped them out, nobody really knew they were coming. I didn't know they were coming out. Like, I didn't even, I didn't see them until we went down the chute and they handed them to us.
Yes, that's true. Cool. They were definitely a surprise that year.
Yeah. So. There's a lot of people saying pins, though. Pins are more practical, I guess, because you could like display them a lot easier.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. I love it.
Love to do this again. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. The announcement I have is that this Sunday night, 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central, we're having our live call-in show, our community check-in. But this one is a special show for the Be Our Guest podcast Lizards. That's right. Mike Bankhead, the captain's joining me. We're going to take all things RunDisney. We're also going to celebrate your runs that you've been doing at home and all this time off. If you have something you want to share, I know a lot of people are doing lots of virtual races. Lots of people are taking on big challenges, stuff like that. We're just going to talk running and Disney. You don't have to be a runner to join us. You're going to hear a lot of inspiring stories. Trust me, most of us were not even close to being runners. We just like having this excuse to go to Disney. Just hang out with Mike. Mike is the greatest.
Mike is the greatest.
But be ready to give us a call. What are you celebrating what are your little victories walking around the neighborhood? Signing up for maybe a local race. If there's one coming up, a virtual you've done, what did you sign up for marathon? What do you have questions about that? We're going to talk RunDisney Sunday night, 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central. So Mike gave me that idea today. So we are doing that Sunday night, 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central, right here on Facebook. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by our friends over at the Magic for Less Travel. When it comes time for that next Disney adventure, and it's getting close, drop by the magicforless.com. Check out the great information to plan that trip. And while you're there, fill out that free, no obligation quote form. And guess what? I will get back to you right away. As long as you mention the Be Our Guest podcast, it's going to be you and me planning a great Disney adventure. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. You get all your Prime benefits, cost you nothing extra, and every purchase helps support the show. So please bookmark it, use it often. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Don't forget the TeePublic site. We have masks for lizards, the lizard logo, the Be Our Guest podcast logo. We have t-shirts, hoodies.
We have the hashtag freaking magical logo.
Hashtag freaking magical right there on your grill. People
That's right.
What are you all about? You are scaring me in the parks. But it'll be awesome because it's again, conversation starter.
Oh yeah, it is. Bam, right there.
But you can get one of those. They're not even that expensive. And you can actually get coupon codes too, a lot at TeePublic, so they're not hard to find. Yep. So there you go. All right. So we have that. And again, Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestPod, at BeOurGuestMike, and Facebook.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Don't forget, over on Facebook, turn on your notifications, because what will happen is if you turn that notification on for Facebook on our page, it'll ding you every time we go live in case we are off schedule. It's like, boop, hey, guess what? Mike just hit the button. We're going. We're rocking. I got a call. And thanks everybody who called in today. It was a lot of fun as well. So we'll be back again on Saturday night. Well, tonight we'll have a live show. We'll have one Saturday night, and Sunday night will be the Lizard Show. So join us at 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central, right there on Facebook. And until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you real soon. right, let me save that bad boy. Thanks. That's good. That's fun.
Yeah, I'm not used to recording these out of order.
Yeah, we are.
Saturday night. Well,
Am I?
tonight we'll have a
Yes.
live show. We'll have one Saturday night, and Sunday night will be the Lizard Show. So join us.
This is all
8
kinds
o'clock
of out
Eastern,
of
7
order.
o'clock.
Talking about Sunday night, and
It's all right. We got this.
it is. Okay, let me trim that. Save this. So this was what show? This was 1681. Everybody, hang around for listener questions. Don't go anywhere.
We want questions.
We need questions.
Oh.
80. Oh, I'm so excited to get Taco Bell tonight. Last night we had steak kebabs, and I was still.
Oh.
They were so good. They're a
Daisy
little
says hi. Oh, hi, Daisy.
Daisy.
She says hi.
Oh, it was here a second ago.
I know. I saw her tail. His,
Yeah.
her. Yeah, I saw her tail. Yeah.
Riley Como.
That's
Actually,
awesome.
I took Riley. It was Mallory. It was myself, Mallory, and Riley in the Jeep with the doors off, buzzing through Bush Wildlife area today.
That's awesome.
Riley loves riding with the top down.
Come on, Days. Say hi. Say hi. No, don't bite me. Say hi. They all want to see you. But no. Okay. Well,
Let me find another question.
she just wants to bite my hand.
That wasn't a question. That was a show.
No. No, she just wants to bite my face.
If she barked on Cruella DeVille.
No. She's a good girl. She just barks like a lunatic when
She's hitting your mic, though. Stop, Daisy!
I got her. Hold on. I got it. There we go.
All right.
There we go. We're better.
Yes, Jennifer, go to mine. They're really good and they're fast. There's usually not anybody there. It's the one across from Panda Express on Mid-River Mall Drive. Let's see. What was I going to say? Somebody had a question in here. Was it, can you eat keto and still enjoy amazing food? I know, like, I've heard people talk about keto, but I don't know what keto really is. I know you're supposed to eat a lot of like real food. I listen to this trucker channel guy who talks about keto all the time.
Oh. There you go.
Okay. So that's a good question for me. Okay, good. We got some questions.
We do.
And I have a few from the inbox too that I need to hit.
Okay, good.
Here we go. This is 1679. Welcome to episode 1679 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you are hanging in there, having a great midweek and, scooting through this week. Hopefully it's only a 4-day work week for you. Maybe you got Monday off for Memorial Day and the weekend will be here before you know it. To get you there, we have our listener questions. We've been doing this forever and we'll probably still be doing it forever because we love your questions because we just don't know what we're going to talk about on these shows. That's what makes it fun. So joining me today to answer those questions, we have Rikki from touringplans.com.
That's it.
It's not really a touring plan. It's more touringplans.com and the mouseforless.com. What's up, Rikki?
I can't, it's just, it's great when it's a short week. I just have to say, like, that's the best is the short weeks. And so, yeah, we're already at Wednesday. Who would have thought?
That's because you are actually going in and you've been going in for a few weeks now. What's the traffic like in Atlanta? Has it gotten any better or is it still as bad?
Well, I don't typically I don't go downtown. So like my drive is usually 15 minutes anyway, to my work. So I'm very lucky in that regard. Like I don't hit traffic that much. I will say that I have noticed even though I don't hit that much traffic, like it's a little lighter than, it normally is. Like the lights that I usually get stopped at, I'm not getting stopped at. So, I can breeze through them pretty quickly in the morning. So that part's good. It's not, it probably like my normal routine probably adds like another couple of minutes usually when there's traffic. So I'm saving a couple of minutes. Let's put it that way. It's not like it's, earth shattering. Now, Brian, when he goes down, I think it's saving him some time. So that's good. But it's not like it's a little heavier than I thought it would be, but it's not Atlanta heavy. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right. So before we get to today's listener questions, a couple of announcements. This Sunday night, we're doing a Be Our Guest podcast, Lizards, live call-in show, 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central on the Facebook page here. So join us for that. You don't have to be a lizard. You don't even have to like running. Mike Bankhead's joining me. We're going to talk all things Run Disney, but maybe if you're curious about what a weekend's like, maybe your favorite weekend, favorite memory from a past Run Disney race, little victories that you've been celebrating, please join us Sunday night with Mike. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that one. 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central. Okay, let's get to the elephant in the room before we get to the first listener question. We're recording this on Tuesday. We're actually a day later than normal because of the holiday. Obviously, this is coming out on Wednesday.
Yes.
The day that rumored, and I think it's confirmed at this point, at least through multiple sources, and I'm seeing the Orlando Sentinel, many of the media outlets, that Disney and SeaWorld are going to announce the reopening plans Wednesday, the day this show posts. We can't wait any longer to record this show because it comes out literally hours from now. Actually, 2 hours from now, it'll release that we're recording right now. So it gives me a lot of time to turn this around with the edit. So I'm a little nervous, but I wish we could wait. We know that this show will be out before the plans are announced. We do not know, but we will react to that on the live show. So Rikki, what's going on? What do we know at the point of recording right now? Not much.
Not much at the point of recording. Obviously I have thoughts on what's going to happen. I think that we are, Universal obviously announced that they are opening soon. And they have laid out their plans of what they're going to be doing to open. I think Disney will, as of the point of recording, I think that they're going to take a lot of what Universal has announced because let's be honest, the theme parks have been working together. Usually they don't, but in this regard, to keep people safe, they really have been. They're on the task force together, so they're kind of bouncing things off each other. I feel like to try to keep things as uniform as possible in a weird way, of things to keep in mind. I think, things like the mask thing, Universal is requiring masks. I think Disney will require masks. I think, they're already doing it at Disney Springs. So I think that's going to be something that they're going to require for the theme parks for at least a little bit. I think that they're going to require the temperature checks. So, those things I think we're going to see, across the board. So, I think that that's something that we have to look towards. Me crystal balling it, I don't know. And again, this could be completely wrong by the time, this comes out tomorrow. I think that we won't see all 4 theme parks open up at once. I think we're going to see phased openings for the theme parks. Again, I could be dead wrong, and have been dead wrong before, but that's kind of what makes sense in my mind, is that they'll open up one and then maybe the next and then the next and then the next. So that's kind of what I think we'll see. So yeah, I really don't know as of right now. I will know, but in a couple hours at this point. I think the task force is at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's we'll find out by then. So look for articles on both touring plans and the Mouse for Less. I will have them up on both, so you can get the latest of what is going to happen at Walt Disney World in regards to the plans, because they have to lay out the plans of what they are looking at doing to keep guests as safe as possible. So that's the whole point of relaying this information to the task force. And I believe they have to have a date in order to have this conversation with the task force. So, I think that we'll definitely hear a date. I don't know when that date will be. So we'll know tomorrow, and as of this, we'll know today. So
we'll see, because my biggest curiosity is transportation, because you got to get people from point A to point B, and that's going to be the hardest for social distancing, but we'll find out. So we don't know a lot, so we're not going to dwell on this. We'll obviously, Friday show, we record these at the same time, but we'll have these discussions on the Facebook community check-ins. So give us a call this week. We'll have those discussions. And of course, next week we'll all be 3 together and talk about that. Yeah. So let's get to the first listener question here. It's from Alicia. It's an interesting one. I said, I want to get your expert opinion. I've signed up for my first Dopey. Hooray, but wow, how stressful. Mike helped me book a club level room at the Grandestino Tower. I chose this to try and entice my husband to come. However, he says no way. Well, maybe you told your husband you didn't have to get up at 2:30 in the morning.
That might help you.
Anyway, I think the club level amenities will be wasted on me, and we don't know what the experience will even be like when we go back. I was wondering if y'all would choose to remain in this room or try to pick a new room in the same price category or cheaper. I've only ever stayed at Pop or the All-Stars for a race weekend. I've also read reviews that the transportation from a moderate to the race can take a bit longer due to the multiple bus stops. I'm looking for somewhere with enough room to put down my yoga mat for stretching, possibly a fun pool to soak my legs in, and good food options for a race weekend. Thanks so much for keeping the Disney magic going, Alicia. All right, so I have thoughts. Okay, so let me give mine and then you give yours. Okay, so she's club level Grandestino Tower. Here's the thing. Coronado Springs is a great place for a race weekend. It's got a hot tub. It's got a great pool to chill out in. It's got hot food items at the poolside bar. The pool's awesome at Coronado. It's also got great dining options. El Mercado del Coronado is great for dining over a race weekend. It's awesome. The old pepper market. It's also got Maya Grill if you want to sit down and have that. It's got Cafe Rick's, which is a little sports well, the Cafe Rick's is, I think, a little grab and go place, which has awesome desserts. You're running dopey. Dude, you can tear up. Then they have new desserts all the time, little cupcakes and brownies. And, oh, they're so good. Because I was there for Princess. I ate every one of them. And they're right there. You see them every time you walk by. They're strategically placed. It's got a great store. The tower is amazing. And I would keep club level. And here's why. I know that on a race weekend, you're kind of busy. You're tired. You go to sleep. But with doing dopey, you're going to tend to go back to your room a little bit earlier and stay out of the parks because you're staying off your feet. Instead of hanging out in your room, how cool would it be to hang out in the club level lounge and really take care of those amenities? So I would stay. Coronado's great. Bus transportation, I love the moderates with the multiple stops for a race weekend because guess what? As long as you get on the bus, you're going to make it to the start. That's the whole thing. And I love a long bus ride to the start for dopey. Like, I beg for my bus to get caught in traffic on the way over to Epcot. It's dark on the bus. It's warm on the bus. You can go back to sleep. They're going to wake you up when they get there. You're going to get off the bus. You're going to stand outside for 2 hours and be cold. And plus, with the multiple stops, you don't have to walk as far to get on a bus. Yes, stay there. You're going to love it. Trust me. This is the move. Don't do it. Just stay at Coronado club level. You're going to have time because you're not going to stay in the parks as much to enjoy the club level stuff. You're going to love Coronado. Please stay. I would. Okay, that's me. Rikki, you.
I mean, Mike, I think you sold me. So good job. I would stay Coronado too at this point. So, I think that you're right. There's a lot of amenities to offer a runner for enjoying. You're right. They will enjoy the hotel more than they think they will because they will be there longer than they think they will. I think the food options are great. You also have all the dining options at the tower too. So you've got the Dahlia Lounge and the other restaurant that I'm blanking on. It's not Topolino's because that's over at the Riviera, but it's another one that starts with a T, I think. So
I spoke to the girl that was the seater there. She was on the bus with me last time I was there in February.
Yeah. Now I'm blanking. I can't think of it, but that's okay.
Oh, it's Toledo's.
Toledo. That's it. I knew it had a T. So you've got that option too. I say Coronado, baby. Go enjoy. Have a good time. Yeah.
Okay, the next question in the inbox says Mizzou is the title. And it says, okay, I admit the title is purely bait for Mike. But now that I have your attention, my family and I just booked an August resort only at the Beach Club, hoping to hang at Stormalong Bay before school starts back. My question is, if parks are open at a limited capacity, would you add tickets and go in to see the parks with such small crowds, or do you pass because it may be a limited experience due to ride closures because of limited capacity? Your opinions on everything Disney are always a great addition to my ride to work. Love the community check-ins. Chris. I would not get tickets.
Really?
If you're staying at Beach Club, here's the thing. I love the parks, but I'm telling you, I've had a couple of trips where I have not had tickets because I'm cheap. Like we're going on a cruise or something. We were just staying at the hotel. If you've never done that, and this is a great opportunity for this, when you don't have tickets, it takes pressure off you. Like,
I always get FOMO when I'm at the pool when I can go into a park. I see people coming back like, oh, they got a balloon. I know they have balloons at the theme park, so I don't even want to get a balloon, but they look like they're having more fun than me. If I don't have tickets, I'm cool with staying at Stormalong Bay all day. August at Stormalong Bay, especially after the last 3-4 months we've had. Beautiful. You can go back to the parks later. Hang out at Stormalong Bay.
You know what? I get what you're saying, but I'm such a park fiend that like I would go to the parks. So I would get the tickets, but I'm also, we also go a lot. So I don't have a problem if I don't get on everything or, because they're going to use like virtual lines and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think I would still get tickets. I mean, that's just me though. I would really go to the parks. I think it's going to be a unique experience that, we're not going to have, but this one time maybe. So I would kind of want to see what it's like to be in the parks.
But I'm more of a resort guy. You're more.
You are.
That's
yeah. That's true.
And Pam would probably say stay at Stormalong Bay.
Yes, she would. I know that's exactly what she would say.
That's just your personality.
It is. It depends. It does definitely depends on your personality. If you think you'd be missing out by not going in the parks, then get tickets. So.
And remember, you can always get them. I mean, there's no advantage. Like, you might have a couple bucks if you get there and you got to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Crystal's got a question. She says, and this is kind of interesting. She says, Mike, has Mallory talked about how she feels about potentially having to wear a mask on her next Walt Disney World trip? The longest my 2 7 and 8-year-olds have worn a mask is about 30 to 45 minutes in a grocery store. Mm-hmm. They didn't complain about them at all. The older two said they won't care about wearing them on a trip, wondering how other kids feel. Mallory does not like wearing masks, but again, we are in a place where there is nobody really wearing masks that we can see because maybe she sees them. She goes sometimes to the stores with her mom. I don't see them. I have not worn a mask yet.
Really?
I'm not trying to be one of those tough guys, but I'm just like, I'm uncomfortable with them and I just don't go where they're required. Like I run, I'm not going to run with one. I mean, I'm not sorry. Like stay clear of me. I'm sorry. Like I run where there's nobody. There are people on the path every once in a while, but I mean, I give them some distance. There's no way I can breathe as an asthmatic with a mask on. Now, would I wear a mask to go to Walt Disney World? Boo, it'd be tough, but I probably would. Maybe I'd try it. I don't know. She hasn't said much. So I don't know. I'll have to ask her. That's a good question. It's interesting though that her kids are kind of accommodating to that. But I think it's like, especially with kids, I think if they see it, they're comfortable with it. If they don't see it, it's a weird thing. And like, we're not seeing it a lot around here in St. Louis. But again, I'm not at the grocery store. Like I know you got to wear them at the grocery store and Target. Like we do everything pickup. Like yesterday, I went and picked up something at Target, but they just brought it right out to my Jeep and threw it in the back, So that was my shopping. I was like my wife asked if I went and got a Starbucks after that to be a suburban housewife.
Basic.
Being basic. Exactly. Totally. All right. Julie's got a question. We have our first Disney cruise, a 7-night Eastern Caribbean, booked for summer 2021. Would you keep it or go to the parks instead? Worried it's going to be efficient from all the new normal and was really looking forward to it pre-COVID when we booked it. So summer 2021, I would totally hang on to that cruise, especially Eastern Caribbean on the Fantasy. That is probably one of the top 5 cruises Disney Cruise Line does. It's definitely the best Caribbean cruise, I think, as far as beauty and the ship. I love Fantasy. Summer 2021, I think things will hopefully start to be sorted out. I would totally hang on to that cruise.
Yeah, I wouldn't let go of that one at this point. I mean, look, I had my cruise to Alaska and I, as of March, when all this was starting to go down, I was still planning on going on that cruise to Alaska. So, it's just unfortunately, Royal Caribbean canceled it. So I didn't get to go. But I would hang on to it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with hanging on to it. Now you might decide to have a backup plan. You might book that the hotel, the Walt Disney World vacation, just to have it in case, you decide to cancel the cruise. But as of right now, like I would not cancel the cruise, just, in place of it, I would wait and see what happens for sure.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, definitely have a backup plan, but stick with that cruise. That's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
Angie in the live chat asks, what will club level amenities look like post-COVID? So again, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's going to look more of like a Apollo setup where there's going to have to be like a 24. I know they're not open 24/7, but when it's open, it's going to have to be staffed and more, not aggressively staffed, but more attentively staffed, where they're going to notice you want some of these appetizers. Okay, we'll get those for you, and that kind of thing. Maybe more individually wrapped kind of items, the fresh goods that you might get there. But the thing is, like, they can't charge for club level unless it is a nice experience. So I would say the experience we find will be different, but I think you're going to get more personal attention from cast members.
No, I agree. I think that there will be changes. They may bring things out to you. It may be a little more waiting on you kind of situation where, it might be kind of feel like, in a weird way, like a table service, like you place your order in a way and then they bring it to you kind of thing. I don't know. But I kind of expect that, you won't just have things maybe out. And if you do have things out in a buffet style setting, it might be like that Palo experience, like you said, where they plate it for you. And then you get to enjoy it. So, yeah.
Jeanette, my great buddy, and she helps me out so much when I go on vacations, especially for run trips. So you've probably talked to Jeanette if you have ever contacted me during marathon weekend or Princess or Star Wars or Wine and Dine, whatever, or when I'm on vacation. Jeanette says, would you rather get rid of the buffets on the Disney Cruise Line to add more outside dining space, or watch some of the shows on the jumbo screen instead of in the theater? That's a tough predicament.
Oh.
I've watched, the thing is, they use the Jumbotron, like, what's it called? Funnel Vision? Yeah. The big TV on the smokestack.
Yeah. Funnel Vision.
I watched one of the World Cup games with Paige out there, and it was kind of cool because cruises are more of an international, like, gathering, people from all over the place. So we watched a World Cup game, which I'm not a big soccer fan. We also watched one at Epcot one time, Team USA against somebody. It was in the old Odyssey, and it was like you had to wait in line forever to get in, and you couldn't, if you left, you couldn't get back in. It was like 1 in, 1 out. It was nuts. So I did watch an event, like a live event on the Funnel Vision, and it was awesome. The energy was great. I don't know what it would be like for a show, because I think shows, and I know we're in a different world now, but to me, like, I've never been to New York, never been to Broadway, but that's about as close as I can get to that Broadway feel, is being in a theater that's fancy with a live performance. God, I don't want to get rid of buffets, but I think buffets are a goner on the cruise line for the foreseeable future.
Unless they do the same thing where they plate your food. I can see the plating of the food for you. Like, here, you say, this is what I'd like. Please put this on my plate. I can see that option going forward. So, and then as far as, the theater shows, I would much rather watch them in the theater than on the jumbo screen, because there's something special about watching a show in a theater like that. As a theater nerd, like, there is something very, very special about watching live performance in a theater live. Like, that's just the case. So I don't know how I would feel about watching it on Jumbotron. I know you can watch it in your room too. Like, it's a little known fact, but you can watch those presentations, in your room. So if you can't make it to the theater as well. So, like, but still, for me, I'd rather there be more, like, social distancing in the theater, and then maybe more shows, so maybe you see the show, maybe they'll do a matinee a couple times during the day, and then, the nighttime show. I don't know, something along those lines. So yeah.
It's tough call, but I mean, and I don't know how they're going to do shows in theaters, at least for a while, but to me, there's still something very special about going to the show on the boats. I know a lot of people don't go to the shows, and sometimes I have this quandary, because we usually eat main dining. So the show's at about 7:30, and my favorite thing to do is look at the ocean and see the sunset. Mm-hmm. And the sunset typically happens during the show if you go in the summertime, and I hate missing that. So there are, like, I will intentionally, like, skip, like, the weakest of the shows, because I've seen a lot of them now, to see the sunset and just walk around the deck, because that's really quiet time on deck, because everybody's either at dinner in the shows.
That's true.
But I do love going to the shows, though. It's such a cool thing. All right, let's get a question in the inbox here from Chris. He says, first off, love the daily shows. Something new to look forward to every night at work. I've got a couple things for you. A possible show topic I think I'd be interesting would be if Walt came back today. More specifically, I was thinking, what would he be most excited about? On the flip side, what would he be most disappointed in? There's a lot of things I can think of as possibilities, and I think it would spark some great conversation from the community. So we're going to actually bring this up at one of the community call-ins this week. But I was thinking about this one this week, and I would think what Walt would like to see, like not really what he was asking, but I think what Walt would be, he's such a futurist, and he was really focused on future urban planning toward the end of his life. I think we would have more advanced transportation systems at Walt Disney World if it was up to Walt right now. The Skyliner's a good start, but I think if it was up to Walt, we'd have automated buses, automated transportation, like, you know, with pucks in the roads and stuff like that. I know it'd be expensive. I don't know how it'd work, but I think transportation, getting people from point A to point B would be a huge thing for Walt. I've always thought that.
So what I think that he would be the most proud of, I guess, is, like you said, the technological advances. I think, you know, that we've seen how things have come, you know, over time, you know, the things that he didn't even envision would be a thing, and now, you know, is absolutely a thing. So I think that that's kind of one of the things that he would be most impressed with necessarily. As far as maybe disappointed in, it's hard because, like, I don't love, you know, really dissecting things that much, but if I really thought about it, I think he might be disappointed in maybe some of the practices of, you know, upper management, as far as, you know, how they handle things that happen in the park, you know, what is going on with cast members, or what, you know, like how they're handling some of the issues that are popping up. Overall, I feel like that might be a disappointment for him. I also selfishly hope that a disappointment for him would be the fact that, you know, they're relying so much on IP and not on creating new ideas. You know, selfishly, that would be a hope that he would be kind of disappointed in, because, you know, he was such an innovator as far as like creating good stories for, I know he was a master, like, marketer. Don't get me wrong. Like, I get that. Like, he built Sleeping Beauty Castle when, you know, the movie hadn't even come out yet to market the movie Sleeping Beauty. So, like, I get he was a marketer, but he also was welcoming of ideas that weren't just based off of his own properties. And I feel like that's something that's, you know, so lacking. So I hope he would be you know, that's a weird thing to say. Like, I hope he'd be disappointed in that, because I'm disappointed in that. You know, but it's so hard to say, like, what Walt would think, because we don't know what Walt would think. You know, that's such a hard question overall to you know, think about in general, is what Walt would think of certain things. But, you know, based off of things that I've heard, you know, about Walt, those are kind of the things that I think would spark.
You know, I think too, like, he wouldn't be as focused on the theme parks as we might think.
Oh,
because
absolutely not.
He kind of checked out on the theme parks.
Absolutely.
At the end of his life. He was on to bigger and better things, which, I mean, Walt Disney World is more of a city. You know, It is kind of, you know, we think of Epcot as the theme park Epcot, but actually Epcot is Walt Disney World, because it's a community. But I mean, it's a small portion of what it could have been. It's not an urban area where people are living, but there are a lot of little pieces of it.
And I will say, if you have never watched the, you know, the film of Walt Disney presenting Epcot, please find it. It's on YouTube. That's where I've seen it. And it will open your eyes to what Walt really wanted for Walt Disney World. You know, that whole idea. I mean, it is not what Walt, you know, originally wanted. And I get it. Nobody could understand how to make that happen without Walt. Like, I completely understand why they went the route that they did. But if you've never, ever seen the video that Walt did, please, please, please go watch it, because it is fascinating what Walt really wanted for Epcot and Walt Disney, you know, what became Walt Disney World. Like, it's so fascinating to see. So, yeah.
All right, get to the last question of the day. It's from Jody. Hey, Mike, Pam, and Rikki. First of all, thank you so much for the BOG podcast, the extra community check-ins, and the wonderful lizard community. I used to run with a group, but now run alone, and the shows are such great company. Thank you for bringing a smile to my face, even when running up hills. That is the ultimate compliment right there. Hills stink, but you know what? Don't fall. Don't trip. No,
that's true. Yes.
Hopefully you're not running up a hill right now. Somebody probably is, though, at this point. So chug, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right. You're almost there. All right. My husband and I are running our first Dopey in January, and we're a bit nervous, but very excited. I'm trying to see, is that the right ratio? Should you be a bit nervous and very excited, or should you be very nervous and a bit excited? That's good. I like how she's thinking.
Yeah. I like the positive spin on that.
True. That is true. You're crazy. Everybody does. It's crazy. It's, especially once it gets to be June. You're like, why am I going to run that many miles? It's so hot. But again, you'll probably get frostbite when it comes time.
Exactly. Yes.
That works. We were thinking the day after the marathon to skip the parks. Okay, you won't do that, but we'll get back to that. We are not AP holders. And trying to look at the value of ticket per day and know we'd be lucky to get a half day at best, but instead go back to Pop, take a long shower, probably a nap, and then look for a special way to celebrate that night. Our plan is to hit the parks on Monday with all of our medals for photo ops.
Okay.
Any suggestions on a special way to celebrate Dopey outside of the parks? Maybe dinner at a resort? What are food? We are foodies and love wine. We have a cellar with about 500 bottles.
Oh, wow.
Well, that was pre-quarantine. That is I guess you're going to quarantine. It's good to quarantine with somebody that's got 500 bottles of wine.
That's a good person to quarantine with.
I really want to make it celebratory and special. So, okay, to throw some money at it. Just looking for suggestions and ideas. Thank you so much. Jody's from Cincinnati, and sorry, Mike, but go Reds. She's about 900 miles from Disney, and I'd take any kind of baseball at this point.
At this point, yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Right.
I kind of joked. I thought she was saying they weren't going to go into the parks on Monday. You will have to go into the parks on Monday because everybody takes their medal pictures.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to do that. You got to get ready. You got to, okay, if you're watching the video, you got to get your arm ready. You got to practice laying 6 out in order and not moving and smiling, so you can get that's the Dopey picture. A lot of bling. So after the race, okay, here's what her plan is. After the 48.6 is complete, 26.2 on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about going back to Pop, taking a long shower. Check. You definitely want to do that.
Yes.
Dude, and I can tell you, I always tell myself, I'm just going to lay down for 30 minutes.
Nope.
Okay, that night is done if you do that. Because for one, you will sleep 3 or 4 hours. And when you try to get up, you are going to be so sore. You just got to power through on Sunday. Yeah. And I know it sounds bad, but you do have to power through. But I would celebrate with, I don't have a suggestion because it's what you love. Like one year, we celebrated Sunday night. A bunch of the Lizards, Mary Jo, Mike Bankhead, a bunch of us went to see Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. Dude, you got to go. Here's the trick too. You're going to be hungrier on Monday than you will on Sunday night. I know that sounds kind of productive. Monday, the day after the marathon, you are going to eat everything in sight. So make sure you have something that's all you can eat scheduled. Because you will make your money back. Sunday night, you might not be as hungry as you think because you're screwed up. Like your stomach's all like, what did you do to me? You're hungry, but you eat a little bit and you get full faster. So Monday is where I would go somewhere like and really get the wine and the Victorian Alberts if you want to go all the way, or or like a California Grill, whatever you have, like whatever your restaurant is. I would do it on Monday. But Sunday night, you're just going to be able to like a Columbia Harbor House or something, or just like corn dog nuggets. Just like that stuff tastes so good the day of the race, but you want to eat something big on Monday. So what would you do to celebrate Rikki, if it was your first?
Well, if they want to do it the way that they are planning, I would suggest, so California Grill was definitely on the list of places that I think is special to go celebrate. Obviously they are known for wine. So I would absolutely consider that. Another place that's very well known for wine is Jico. I think that might be an option for them. They have great food at Jico and extensive wine list there. So that's also a great choice. Plus some unique wines because they have African wines, that you can't get anywhere else. So that's kind of a cool choice too. The other option I was thinking was Topolino's Terrace, which is at the Riviera. Again, it's a really nice restaurant. I very much enjoyed experiencing breakfast there. I haven't eaten dinner. But I think that the dinner would be just as excellent. So those are kind of my 3 choices. Oh, and they had a huge wine, area at that restaurant too. So I'm sure that they have a lot of choices of wine there. Again, it was breakfast, so I wasn't having wine at that point, but there were definitely choices. So I think that those were like the 3 that really popped in my head of a good celebratory meal outside the parks that would be, refined and fancy and have the wine choices that I think you're looking for.
What about yachtsmen's too? Because like that's a heavy meal, you've worked hard all weekend for it, you deserve it. And they have wine.
Flying Fish too would be another really good choice. I know they have a decent wine list, and I've eaten there, and it's quite yummy. So.
You know what? Those two choices, those last two, Flying Fish and Yachtsman, would be good calls because you could have your meal and then just kind of walk the boardwalk area, the beach club, yacht club. Because the thing is, I know like you probably think, oh man, I ran 48 miles. I just want to chill. You got to keep moving even on Monday. Otherwise you're just going to be dying on the plane or in the car going home. You don't have to run anymore. The run is done. Just stroll around and snack over at the board. Well, you probably won't snack after having Yachtsman, but maybe get a sweet treat or something at Ample Hills. Ample Hills.
Oh, I miss Ample Hills. No, you made me sad again, Mike.
It'll all be over soon. It'll all be back to normal. Give me a shot. Come on.
Hey, Ample Hills is coming to Disney Springs, so I'm in.
Hopefully it doesn't go out of business.
Oh, that's true.
Sad.
Don't wish that upon things.
No, seriously, I'm not going to say it out loud again.
No, don't.
All right, well, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much for the great questions. Send in more questions to Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. We'll get those on the air here right away. Don't forget, we record these shows, these listener questions and Friday shows on Mondays, typically around 5:45 Eastern. So drop by, hang with us live here in the chat. It's so much fun. Sometimes we take calls. We're going to do that on Friday. And of course, follow all the latest news over at themouseforless.com. Of course, we had to hold off as long as we could, but we know there's going to be news breaking between recording and the show publishing. Yes. So themouseforless.com for all the updates.
Yes.
Don't forget, today's show is brought to you by the folks over at the Magic for Less Travel. So when it comes time for your next Disney adventure, drop by themagicforless.com, fill out that free no obligation quote form. And if you mention the Be Our Guest podcast, it's going to be me helping you with that trip. And it really does help support everything we do. So just fill out the quote form with as much information as you have, names, dates, resorts. That's just where we start. We'll check the availability. We'll get rocking on that for you until we get it just right. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. We really, really appreciate that. That helps us so much. So if you're just going to be shopping on Amazon anyway, use the link. It's exactly the same. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Don't forget, we're doing the Be Our Guest Podcast community check-ins every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday nights, at least here for a bit. Sunday night, again, is going to be our Run Disney talk with Mac Bankhead, the captain of the Be Our Guest Podcast Lizards. All things running, all things Disney, a lot of fun. Don't have to be a runner, so don't be shy about Sunday night. If you just want to be inspired, this is how it gets started, man. You might say, I hate running. Runners are stupid. They wear short shorts and sneakers. Listen to the show Sunday night. You may be at the store on Monday. I don't know. We'll see. Well, maybe not at the store, maybe at the pickup place, like with your basic the Starbucks.
There you go.
Target. All right, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back again on Friday with another great podcast. Again, Thursday night, we'll take the calls on the community check-in. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Good deal.
Yay.
That's fun.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to edit. And
get edited. Get to editing, Mike Roman.
16, 7. So your parents are coming down tonight?
Yes, they're on their way.
I saw your mom post like her last walk around Newtown.
Yeah, they're on their way. So my house will include my parents, 5 cats, and a dog here tonight. So
no, thank you.
And me and Brian. Yeah. So
no, thanks. I love my parents. I do not want them at my house, and I do not want that many animals.
But the interesting part is that my mom and dad's one of their cats is the mama to my cat, one of mine. So they haven't seen each other in probably 10 years. Like they have not been under the same roof in 10 years. So it will be very, very interesting to see how this goes down.
They'll probably scratch each other's eyes out.
Oh my gosh. I'm so curious to see how this is going to go because they literally haven't seen each other in like 10 years. So it's going to be, I wonder if they will remember each other at all. So it's going to be interesting.
Put on Facebook Live.
Oh my gosh. That would be hysterical. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. There will be a trip report tomorrow. I've confirmed it. What are we talking about? It's a first trip, I think.
No, okay.
Harry. So yeah, we're going to do that at 7:00 Eastern.
Awesome.
So yeah, join us for that. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday calls. All right. We'll see y'all later. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody. See ya.